Hello and welcome to another episode of What's the Buzz. I'm your host Tristan Mark and we are here at the Druid Garden in Sahakar Nagar. Come, let's take a look.
And I'm the general manager at the Druid Garden here in Sahakar Nagar in Bangalore. The Druid Garden's been a dream project for the owners. It's the first restaurant venture that they got into. They're basically from the cinema and fitness background. The reason why we put up Druid Garden here in North Bangalore, because there was such a void of space like this to go to, so-called a neighborhood place to go to and have a good experience, whether it is for families or for corporates or for even school kids post-school to come here and have a good time. So this place in North Bangalore had a void, and hence we decided to build the Druid Garden here.
The film Lipstick Under My Burkha was denied its certification earlier this year due to some sexual content in the film. The CBFC has now given a A rating to the movie after a lot of controversies. So here we are with few people to talk about censorship in India.
It's a question for which I really don't have an answer, because it's something we also wonder about, because it is life, whatever is shown on the in the movies, it's about life. So why should anything be censored? And by censoring certain things, I can understand when certain religious sentiments are censored. Those can create a lot of problems. But anything to do with life in general should not be censored. That's my viewpoint.
Well, honestly, as far as India is concerned, India is different from the Western world. And India has a tradition of having censorship right from the days of Vaida Rahman, whose, I believe, one scene was deleted because she had eyes which were red, and it was deemed to be sensual. So from those times, the censor board is there. So over a period of time, obviously, there has been a relaxation, but the censor board has to be there considering the sentiments and whatever you might call it, but a religious background about Indian culture. So it is important for some kind of censorship to be there. Now we'll talk about the particular movie later, but according to me, there is a need for the censorship to be there. So that's what I feel. How extensive it should be, that is debatable.
It's not just the censor board. I think the entire society has to open their mind. There are only few sections of society who are kind of open to new ideas, new thoughts, new beliefs. But if the society is accepting a particular thought, I'm sure the censor board has no and will not have any say in the matter. But it's the society which has to change its thinking, and the censor board will change accordingly, according to me.
Well, what we are forgetting here is that the talk about big time, that there should not be any censorship, etc., comes from urban areas. Now, India's maximum population is in the rural areas. Now, when we talk about any kind of censorship, primarily it's the smallest portion is violence, but maximum it's sexual. Now, if it is relating to anything with sex, believe me, as far as rural areas are concerned, the kind of sexual awareness or the education in rural areas, it is minimal. So if you are going to release a movie on an all India basis without any cuts or without any kind of this thing, it's going to have a very, very bad impact on the general masses. There has to be censorship till we reach a level where we say on an all India basis, we are very well aware what kind of sexual education, etc., is acceptable within a society.
Basically, I said the society in its thinking has to be aware of and changed for the censor board to act accordingly. I think the emphasis on, instead of censor board, is acting as for the society. If the society is uplifted, maybe the censor board will change.
I'm just trying to think aloud. Any guy or any producer who's trying to make a movie which has got any kind of a controversy, will he ever take a chance to, before the beginning of the film, to explain his thought process? Why is he saying it? What is his thought process? What is the impact? And what should be done to take it in the right spirit? Nobody will do it. He is there to make money. That's it, pure and simple. And you also cannot have a two kind of films running, one for rural, one for urban. Urban without cuts, rural with cuts. You can't have that. So when that is the kind of a situation where we are in, where ultimately, where the bottom line is to make money, then according to me, it is very, very essential that every person who is making is aware of the social impact of the movie which he is making. So it is according to me. So if he is making very explicit kind of movies, there has to be censorship.
From this conversation, we can all agree that censorship is needed, but as to what extent do we need it can be debatable. This is me, Tristan Mark, signing off from NSoJ.